What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is Marty for here once again.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar84 here once again. Now I know for those who watch my channel for Bad Girls Club reviews, I didn't review last week's episode simply for the fact that it was boring as shit. Okay, the video would have been 5 minutes because anything I would have said, I would have felt like I was repeating myself, and it just was nothing interesting enough for me to actually turn on the camera and talk about. I was trying to do the whole season regardless of, whether or not the shit was boring or not, but at some point it just got repetitive and I just couldn't do it. Not last week. And they're off this week. They're not going to be in a new episode this week. Oh, but bitch, next week. Oh, but bitch, next week. It's Parents Week. And there's just sobbing and Red crying, you threw me into the dresser. Whatever. That's not what this video is about. This video is about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. What happened on last night. Now, I was supposed to do it last night, but look, I'm keeping 100 with y'all. I had a date last night, so. It is what it is. But yeah, so the episode starts off with Mimi and Nico talking about this video going viral, and they was looking at Jocelyn's tweets about, it being her doing granny porn and being an old lady and you being over 40 years old with a sex tape. Now, mind you, with that comment, really age has nothing to do with it, because if, let's say, a Jennifer Lopez sex tape came out, shit, we wouldn't be caring that the bitch is over 40 because the bitch looks good. Now, Mimi obviously doesn't look as good as Jennifer Lopez, but I'm just saying that to say age really doesn't mean anything, okay? It depends on how you look and how you keep yourself up. But Mimi is just in this confessional. Y'all, something about the way Mimi talks in the confessional, it just makes me laugh. It seems like she's so overly dramatic and just enunciates so dramatically. She was like, she has to, the common Nene stance is to hold her fingers together, so something like this. She's just like, it's only been 2 days since this release of this sex tape, and we have gone viral all over social media. It's just like, she's so fucking extra and it just puts so much emphasis on everything. It's just funny to me. I can't. And then this blonde wig or lace sewing, whatever that shit may be, is tired and I can't. And of course Nico's sitting over there with his rat face looking ass, just eating it all up, looking at all the blogs and shit. And she's like, I just don't know what I would do without Nico in this position. I just don't know how I would have made it through. Girl, he put you in a position, so. But we've already said that to Mimi. Mimi has heard it from social media for weeks, and she's heard it from her closest friends on the show, and I just don't know what else. And even she's had her own inklings about it, and I don't know what more she needs, but you know what? We just leave it alone at this point. Mimi knows what she's doing, right? So, I'm going to just go ahead and get Kalina's part out of the way. Kalina finds out that she's pregnant, and she's working on some songs in the studio, and it sounded pretty good. Y'all know Kalina can sing, but she was talking about she was pregnant, and she was telling Rashida, and she didn't know how the pregnancy was going to go with her releasing a new album, and the tour, and how getting her marriage together, and of course Rashida was trying to give advice on how to do the whole pregnant music and marriage thing, because she did it with Kirk, but. Granted, Rashida is probably, if there is anybody else, the best resource since she just went through it. But, I don't know. Something about taking advice from Rashida just sounds like a bad idea. I could be wrong. It could be judgmental. I think just anything associated with Kirk is just a bad thing to me. But it just seemed like things don't work out that well for her. So, I don't know if she's the person to take advice from. I don't know. But yeah, congratulations on the pregnancy though. She told her husband, he had like the same kind of reaction. He was like, well, it's a blessing, but damn, right now? You know, it's like we're trying to get stuff together, but now we got to worry about a baby and do all the things that come with having a baby and such and such. And she had mentioned that when they first got pregnant, he wasn't too ecstatic about it. He went and cheated and did those other crazy ass shit. So she's just like, I don't even know if I want to go through this again. But they had an inspector come out and inspect their home/studio, and it has mold. And she was going on like, you know, this could be bad for children, animals, older people, expected mothers. And she's in the back of her mind you, she hadn't told her husband at this point when they're talking about the mold. So she's like, well, shit. Like, I gotta say, if I can't even keep it a secret, because I can't even be sitting up in here, me pregnant, and we have mold, and then it caused issues. So I gotta tell him. So that's what she told her husband. And you know, thus far he seemed like he was very supportive, and he's gonna do what it, you know, now that he knows his wife is pregnant, he's gonna do what he has to do to make sure that she's taken care of and that they can get in a better, safer environment for the baby and all the good stuff. So that's good. Jocelyn is in the gym working out, doing her thing, doing her squats, showing all her assets and stuff. And then we get to she walks out and here comes Stevie. Now this is like a motherfucking broken record. Like they're gonna try to extend this shit as long as they can, because they keep talking about this damn. They keep running through this script of Stevie J is trying to come back and get back with Jocelyn, get back in good graces, but she keeps pushing him away about the whole Althea thing. And he keeps saying, no, I did not have sex with her. She keeps saying, I don't believe you, you're full of shit. She gets into a vehicle or she just does something and leaves off and just drives off. And it's just like, okay, we've seen this particular scene at least 3 different times. And so I don't know what more. We don't need to see it anymore. We don't need to see Stevie come up, Jocelyn push him away. He says, I didn't fuck her. She says that you did, and she leaves. We don't need to go through this formula anymore. Okay, we don't. And Stevie J talks to Benzino about putting Mimi on the cover, and he's kind of like, no. I don't know about all that, because he already knows that Jocelyn is going to fuck him up. So, but Benzino's like, hey, Mimi's hot right now. We have like less than 24 hours to get this shit popping. So he tried to give him a time limit to get back with me. What you think about it? You know, give you some time, but we need to do this. So, and he's like, Benzino talks about we could stand to sell, you know, a lot of magazines with this cover because she's hot, she's this and she's that, biggest thing on the web right now. But my thing was, I had a question. Who buys magazines anymore? Because nowadays the entire spread of, especially if it's a very popular spread that's in a magazine, can be seen on the internet. So who's paying what, $10 or however many dollars it is for a magazine when you could just see everything that you want to see on the internet? It's not like a magazine is something that you look at over and over again, unless you're like a collector of covers or something. But other than that, he's talking about sell a lot of magazines. I don't know anything about the magazine industry, but it just seems I don't really hear about people buying magazines. People usually look at them while they're in the grocery line getting their grocery scan, and then they put it back down when they looked at what they care about. You know, that could just be me. Somebody let me know if there's more to the magazine industry than that. Whatever. Scrappy comes in with flowers and a blanket and a picnic basket and grapes and wine and all this stuff in the wilderness, all dressed in white like he's pure and shit. And here come Bambi in her tropical rainforest colors. And Bambi was like, you know, this is sweet and all, but like Scrappy got me out here in the motherfucking woods and shit. Like I'm on a fucking safari or some shit. Like what the fuck? I'm like, bitch, can't the man just do something nice for your ass? Shit. You sit up here already complaining. See, bitches be complaining and shit. Like they always find fault in everything. Damn. But anyways, you know, they talk about how they want their relationship to be, and then gives her a ring, and he says it's like a friendship, love, romance, whatever he called it, ring. And, you know, of course she's like, oh, well, you know, it's going to take some time, and this, that, and the fourth, and blah, 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 blah. He's trying to get back with Bambi, more so. That's pretty much all that there was with that shit. And this is the part. I think this is the last Mimi related topic. Mimi is walking with Dawn, headed on her way to a meeting with Benzino. Mimi, all of a sudden, is just feeling her pussy. She is feeling all in her cooch about this whole thing. She's just starting to feel all like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. I'm no longer ashamed. I have nothing to be apologetic for, and I'm just the biggest thing out here right now. You can't fuck with me. And so Benzino comes in, as a courtesy, wants to talk to them about putting them on the magazine cover. And Mimi sits over there and talks about $10,000. Benzino said, well, no, she just said 10,000. Benzino was like, 10,000 what? She's like, dollars. And he was like, a bitch what? He's like, we don't pay our models to be on the cover. And she's like, you don't pay, we don't do. Bitch. Something about Mimi just makes me laugh. But he's like, well, there's freedom of press. And all we would really have to do is just take a picture of you, put it on the cover, and that's just it. I just brought you in here as a courtesy just to let you know that I'm going to do this. And she's like, oh, that's what you're going to do? That's what you're going to do? I'm going to sue your ass and all this other stuff. But correct me if I'm wrong, because I had an idea. I'm wondering how this works. I feel if you're reporting the truth about somebody on a public magazine platform, can they be sued? Can you really sue somebody who's reporting public fact about a public figure in a magazine, even if it's against their will? Like, is that the part of free press? Or is it actually, since she's not, I guess, with the whole idea, can she sue? Because I feel like, well, if that's the case, I feel like celebrities would be suing all sorts of these magazine outlets and stuff all the time if that was the case. But I was just wondering, if she were to sue, that's something that she could actually sue about. I don't know. Somebody let me know. But she was like, well, since she's not going to pay, she's not going to do, and if you're going to do it, we're going to talk to my lawyers and all this other bullshit. I'm just like, girl. She's like, I'm getting offers left, right, diagonally, up, down, from the side to the side, front to back. I'm like, you really going to milk your 15 minutes of fame, bitch, because eventually people are going to get tired of seeing those busted-ass red bottoms, your saggy-ass titties, that black hole of a cooch, Nico's face, and you hanging from that dirty-ass shower rod in that nasty-ass Motel 6 room. So, bitch, you really are 15 minutes. At this point, as of July 22nd, 2014, don't nobody give a fuck. And the only reason people have somewhat half of a fuck to give is because it's currently airing on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So, once this season is over, and the reunion, and speaking of which, real quick, I didn't watch the actual footage of the brawl. I need to go on the blogs and look at it before they take that shit down. But everybody's talking about how good this reunion is going to be. We're going to see. We're going to see what they're going to actually put on the air. Anyways, back to our regular scheduled programming. Yeah, Mimi, that whole shit, we don't really care that much. It's just like, it was a shock factor. And then after the shock is over, it's like... So, yeah, there's that. Mimi's father has a stroke, which is unfortunate. And he was not doing well, so she was getting ready to leave. But then, of course, Erica was coming over and wanted to talk about, the whole tape and whatnot. And pretty much, Erica was pretty much reviewing and saying the same thing that, she said with Arian when she first watched the tape about it being about her little girl. And she just really didn't believe that it was a sex tape. It was more like a production. And she was just like, so that's really the story you're going to go with? And, Erica's pretty much just pressing her the way that everybody else has been pressing her. Like, bitch, this was a fucking production on that ass. There was lighting, there was different positions, there was cut, and there was edit. There was all of that stuff. And she was just like, all that I can do is take this tape and move fucking forward. That's me, forward. Oh, shit, she's so dramatic. I know she be doing this shit for the goddamn cameras, but it's funny. Where we at? Mama D is crazy as hell. I don't understand what Mama D wants for Scrappy. I really don't get it. every time Scrappy gets involved with somebody, seriously, she pushes them away. She doesn't want them to have anything to do with, like, it's almost like he wants her, she wants him to have multiple bitches. She wants him to keep them all in line, keep them all happy somehow, simultaneously. And when one of them starts not to like Scrappy for whatever reason, she gets mad at him for not controlling his hoes. But when he gets serious about somebody and alluded to giving them a ring, she starts talking about, you will not dethrone me in my palace, you will not dethrone me. I'm like, what does Scrappy's relationship have to do with you and this figment of your imagination? Why can't he be with somebody seriously? Like, is it because you weren't with nobody seriously, probably ever? I'm like, what do you want? What is the deal with you in this damn palace shit? I'm like, do you not want him to be happy? Do you want him to be a 40-year-old man still hitting up the club looking for bitches? Like, no, that's not cute. And, Mimi and the girls talked about the whole sex tape. Pretty much Rashida, Erica, Arian, they all just took the time to kind of air how they felt about the sex tape. And pretty much everybody has already said the same thing over and over and over again. So there's no need to hit that back up. But one thing about that is Mimi did say something that I kind of that we were saying before. And she was talking about how everybody's saying, you know, oh, you're this, you're that, and all, giving their all opinion. And she's like, but it's not you that's really going through it necessarily, it's me. I mean, granted, you may feel like you're associated with me, but really none of this affects any of y'all, for real. It's merely just me. And so she's like, why are y'all so, like, hurt? Like, you could have an opinion, you could have, you know, your disappointment, but, like, come on, it's me, not you, you know? That's the point. I was like, you know what, you have a good point there, because that reaction that Erica did last week, I was like, girl, you doing a lot. You are putting an Oscar-worthy performance on here, and it is not required. But the last scene from this episode was Jocelyn confronting Stevie J again about the about the tired old maid being on the cover, and she's on the inside, and she's like, I know I'm gonna outshine her anyway, but what the fuck is this? Like, what is this shit? You know, no, you need to shut the fuck up. You need to shut the fuck up. And she was just going off on Stevie, just doing the fucking most. Like, their whole dynamic is just fighting about the whole Althea shit, and now the cover with Mimi and Stevie J's like, I didn't know the fuck this shit was gonna happen. But actually, it's pretty much to tell him the truth. He didn't know that Steve Benzino was gonna actually do it, but he did know. He did talk to him, and Benzino did say, hey, this is what we should do. So, and he didn't give them and he said he had less than 24 hours, and he didn't reply. So he can't completely say stupid or call, you know, pretend like he ain't know what the fuck's going on. But, you know, whatever. Stevie, you can't ignore it and just pretend like Benzino just not going to do shit. But so now you got to deal with Jocelyn and her foolishness. So that was the episode, you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and the video. I appreciate everybody's subscription, all the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington, Washington, Washington.